They said gated communities were peaceful, safe, perfect. But no one warned us about Karen. One woman, one power trip, and one big mistake that cost her family everything. If you had told me a year ago that moving into a gated community would flip my life upside down, I would have laughed. The brochure promised quiet streets, friendly neighbors, and 24/7 security. What it didn't mention was Karen. Karen runs the HOA like her personal kingdom, president, treasurer, enforcer, and full-time busybody. She knows everyone's business. And if she doesn't, she makes it up. When we first moved in, I tried to be friendly. But it didn't take long to see her true colors. Everything exploded last Saturday. My daughter Emma, 17, had just saved up and bought her first used car, a small Honda Civic. She was so proud. That morning, she was heading to her weekend job at the animal shelter. Then came Karen. She stood at the exit gate, arms crossed like a statue, blocking Emma's path. "The car's not registered," she barked. "No decal. No paperwork. No driving." Emma calmly explained that it was her first day taking the car out. She hadn't had time yet to register it. Karen didn't care. She stood in front of the car and called security. Emma tried to drive forward carefully. That's when Karen shouted, "She's fleeing the scene!" Like it was some crime drama. Minutes later, 2 police cars pulled up, sirens flashing. Emma called me, crying. When I arrived, my daughter was sitting in the back of a cruiser, terrified. Karen stood nearby, arms crossed, smirking like she just saved the world. She told the officers Emma was putting the community at risk. Luckily, the officers were professional, and not buying Karen's act. I handed them the car's registration and the completed HOA paperwork. They checked everything, apologized to Emma, and told Karen, in the nicest way, that she had wasted everyone's time. But here's the twist Karen didn't see coming. While all this was happening, she had no idea who I was on the phone with. You see, I'm a project manager for one of the biggest construction firms in the county. And we were just about to award a multi-million-dollar bridge repair contract to her husband's company. But as I stood in my driveway watching my daughter get treated like a criminal, I told my boss what was going on. Karen, abusing HOA power, harassing a teenager, calling the police over a decal. My boss paused. "Are you serious?" "Absolutely," I said. 5 minutes later, Karen was still ranting to the police. Her husband's phone rang. He didn't pick up. I was already out by the lake, clearing my head. By the time he called her back, the deal was gone. The contract had been handed to another company. The next day, Karen showed up at my door, yelling, crying, saying I had ruined her family. I stayed calm. I simply said, "If you want to control people's lives, you should have thought twice before humiliating my daughter and wasting police time. Actions have consequences. Some are small. Some can cost you everything." Emma now drives freely, with a shiny new decal on her Civic. And ever since that day, the neighborhood has been peaceful. Very peaceful. Last I heard, Karen's husband's company is scrambling for contracts. And the HOA board? Quietly discussing a new president. Funny thing about bridges. Burn the wrong one, and suddenly, you're stuck. Alone. On an island of your own making. Never underestimate quiet people. Or overestimate your own power. Because some bridges, once burned, don't get rebuilt. And sometimes, the person you tried to humiliate? Hold the pen that writes your ending.